राजकुमार आवाज जा रही है? राजकुमार आवाज जा रही है?
प्रणाम सर।
हाँ चलो, आवाज जा रही है ना?
जी
चलो, एक्चुअली बीटेक वाला का चल रहा था, थोड़ा लंबा हो गया, इसलिए थोड़ा तुमसे हम जबकि स्पेयर लिए थे 10 मिनट। कोई बात नहीं। We have actually go through the different method of drying, that is dehydration. We are actually apply. We have already studied the spray drying, drum drying, fluidized bed drying, and also freeze drying, and also other drying process which is actually generally applied for fruits and vegetables, and also for the grains. So now we are actually discuss what are the changes that actually takes place takes place in terms of their chemical quality, in terms of their texture attributes, in terms of their sensory attributes. So we are, and also nutritive value of the product. So what are the effect of drying on the quality of foods? So if we categorize the quality in different category, that is the chemical, physical, and nutritional. So this is the actually the attributes which actually affect the, which overall affect the quality of the foods. So when we see the chemical context, in when we see in the context of chemical, so we can observe that the dried product, they are actually undergo with the browning reactions. So you have already, being a dairy technology, you have already studied the dried milk products. So when we store the dried milk at relatively slight for a long period of time, so we are observed that there is a brown discoloration we can observe in the case of dried milk products. So the drying, when we dry the product, even by the spray dryer or by the drum dryer, definitely we will lose the brown discoloration of the, we can definitely observe that the brown discoloration in the products. So other way we can also observe the lipid oxidations. So particularly the fat is whole milk powders, you can say whole milk powders, they are actually undergo with the lipid oxidation, which ultimately leads to the oxidized flavor in the product, which is highly objectionable from the consumer point of view. है ना? So lipid oxidation, that is also may take place particularly with the rich having the things particularly rich in the lipids. So generally the butter oil, butters, and even the cheese containing higher content of fat, they undergo with the lipid oxidation, which ultimately leads to the oxidized flavor in the product. Color loss. We can also observe that when we dry the product, either any of the process, definitely we will also lose the slight color also of the products. Similarly, among the three, we can also, when we see the physical condition of the foods, then we can observe that the dehydration which is actually applied to the foods, so that we can reduce the water impurities in such a level so that we actually extend the shelf life of the food. So solubility of the product, texture of the product, and aroma, all are actually somewhat different what we get in the original foods. है ना? So this is actually depends also the physical changes or chemical changes will take will depend upon the different what type of method we are going to apply for the drying of the products. Suppose you are go for freeze drying, definitely we can retain the maximum flavor or aroma in the any type of product, and also at the same time we can also able to preserve the color, even color of the product when we go for the freeze drying. But when we go for spray drying or drum drying or any other method of drying, then we will definitely lose the color of the product. And similarly the nutritional aspects, definitely we can also lose the nutritional value of the food when we undergo with, when we treated with or dried the food with the different method of drying, definitely we will lose the vitamin, and there may be depends upon the concentration of loss of vitamin depend upon the drying conditions and drying methods, or even the type of milk also. And the vitamin loss is actually, we have also observed in the case of drying of the food. And similarly, we are also lose the protein loss. In, we already noticed that in some cases, even in the in case of milk and preparation of whole milk powder, WMP or instant milk powder, definitely we can actually we are actually denaturate the whey proteins. So protein loss is definitely we can observe a microbial survival. So there are some thermoduric bacteria. They are actually releasing some heat stable because they microbe releases the heat stable enzymes, proteases, lipases. They are actually not destroyed at the temperature. So this is also the things we have to lose. Another one is texture changes. What, Rajkumar? Rajkumar, textural changes. The texture changes the nature and type of pretreatment or extent of size reduction. That actually take place in the foods. And even अब क्या हुआ? We can also, मेरा क्या हो गया? मेरा फोटो नहीं आ रहा है. मेरा क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? Where I cannot see in my pictures. I already on the video. Have you seen my video? Rajkumar, have you seen you seen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, problem. So texture changes, we can see the texture changes in the dried product, the nature and type of pretreatment or size, extent of size reduction. That actually there are different process we can say when we go for drying, that this is the gelatization of the starch may take place, even the crystallization of cellulose may take place, or degradation of pectin that may take place, and even the localized variation in the moisture content. So these things are generally happen with the grains. So we are actually observe such type of changes or textural changes in the food, particularly the grains, wheat, and you can say rice. They are actually such type because starch is actually found in the wheat, or you can say barley or other things. Similarly, solutes move from interior of the food to the surface case hardening. So that may also take place, such type of take place in the case of this type of dried product. Flavor and aroma. Flavor and aroma, already you already know that we are definitely lose the volatile components when we go for the dehydration. Definitely the different volatile compounds that they may lose in the product. Suppose that is actually also depends upon the what is the temperature of the drying air, what is the inlet temperature, what is the outlet temperature, what is the vacuum in the system, and this totally depends upon the, when we not maintain the vacuum in the dryer, then definitely we can lose, we can actually get not we can get the product of brand cooked flavor. So temperature of drying air is very much important, and so we have to also think what is the moisture content of the foods, and what is the vapor pressure of the volatiles, and what is the solubility of the volatiles in the water vapors. So these all are actually shows the shows are contribute the flavor and aroma of the product. Now comes into the auto oxidation. So you know that auto oxidation that is actually very much important from the food point of view, because oxidation leads to the development of oxidized flavor that is highly objectionable, not only in the milk product but also in other food items. So because oxidation is oxidized flavor is not acceptable by the consumers, and ultimately the product is actually go wastage. So auto oxidation, that is actually we have to also look into that, because two type of heat induced changes they may take place in the uh, product, that is enzymatic or non-enzymatic. So enzymatic or non-enzymatic leads to the loss of flavor and color to the product. Similarly, you already know that the enzymes which is released by the either by the bacteria, we can say the proteases enzyme, lactases enzymes, they are actually contribute also in the with respect to the flavor of the product. So rate of deterioration of the product, that is also depends upon the storage temperature and water activity. So higher the storage temperature, definitely the rate of deterioration will be higher. So the shelf life of the product is always poor in comparison to the lower temperature. So it is always advisable to keep the product at cool temperature or even chilled temperature, so that we can actually maintain the long life of the product. We can keep the product for a longer period of time. Similarly, the water activity. Higher the water activity, that means the water activity actually consisting free water or boiled water. The presence of free water, the amount of presence of free water in the product, that actually also shows the also predict the shelf life of the food. So water activity, higher the water activity, the product shelf life will be more. And what is the oxidation of lipid? The oxidation of lipid may leads to the rancid flavor or lactones. Similarly, the fruit in the fruits and vegetable, PUFA, polyunsaturated fatty acid, the oxidation then leads to formation of hydroperoxides, and they are actually responsible for the spoilage of the foods. So, so here we can see the how we can actually improve the shelf life of the foods during a storage. So definitely we can apply different methods by which we can actually preserve the flavor and also the quality of food up to a long duration. So we simply keep the product at low temperature. When we keep the product at low temperature, definitely we can check the growth of the microorganisms, and ultimately the process of biochemical changes that may take place during storage may be checked, or that is actually minimized, so that by this way we can actually improve the shelf life of the product. Similarly, gas packaging or vacuum packaging. So definitely the vacuum packaging always better for preserving the flavor or keeping quality of the product. Similarly, exclusion of ultraviolet or visible lights, that is also exclusion of ultraviolet light or visible light. They are also helpful in preserving the flavor of food during a storage. And maintenance of low moisture, that is the low moisture food, definitely having the better shelf life. And when we maintain the water activity in the range of 0.3 to 0.5, definitely we can preserve the flavor of the food for the longer period. Similarly, addition of synthetic oxidation. Synthetic oxidation, definitely when we add the different type of inhibitor, then definitely we can actually slow the oxidation process of the product, which ultimately improves the shelf life of the product. So that is actually categorized into different category. Initiation inhibitors, they are actually comprising sorbitol, mannitol, sucrose, and hydrogen oxide as convincing functions. So in the case of propagation inhibitor, tocopherol, ascorbic acid, they are being used as a synthetic antioxidants, and also the BHA, the synthetic propagation inhibitor like BHA, butylated hydroxyanisole, BHA, and propyl gallate. These are actually allowed by the FSSI. So these inhibitor we can add to the product, and we can actually maintain the flavor of the product, or we can say we can actually uh, check the check the damage or deterioration of the product for a certain period of time. Similarly, we can also preserve flavor. Glucose oxidase, they are actually also protect dried food from the food from the oxidation. Similarly, we can also apply the modified atmosphere packaging. That is the combination of nitrogen or carbon dioxide in the packing of the milk powder. Then definitely we can actually preserve the milk powder flavor of the milk flavor for the longer period of time, and flavor changes due to oxidative or enzymatic hydrolytic influence are prevented by use of sulfuric acid, sulfur dioxide, ascorbic acid, or citric acid. So we can also check the oxidative or hydrolytic changes, and by the application of sulfur dioxide or ascorbic acid or citric acid. है ना? So we can also sodium metabisulfite inactivate the phenol oxidases, thus prevent the formation of melodins, that is the enzymatic browning. You can also observe the formation of melodins, that is the that is the brown pigment. You can observe also in the case of milk powder, that is the dried milk product, whole milk powder, or SMP. है ना? So we can also check the formation of melanoidins, which is also contributes the brown pigment, that is the releasing the brown pigments, and that is one of the enzymatic changes which actually take place in the dried product milk powder even during the storage of the product. So when we add the sodium metabisulfite, that definitely the inactivate the phenol oxidases, and thus we can actually prevent the formation of melodins or enzymatic browning. So we can definitely improve the shelf life of the product. So here we can see that when we go for MAP, that is the admixture of nitrogen and carbon dioxide up to a certain proportion, definitely we can able to not only to improve the shelf life of the milk powder, but also we can actually preserve the flavor even during the storage for a longer period of time. Similarly, we can also we can use sulfur dioxide, ascorbic acid, or citric acid. So which we actually retard or check the oxidative or hydrolytic changes which generally take place in the foods. So by this way we can actually preserve the flavor and of the foods. Color. Drying changes. Drying changes also surface characteristics of foods, hence alter its reactivity and color. In fruits and vegetables, heat damage to the carotenoids and chlorophyll pigments, and oxidation during drying, and browning by residual polyphenol oxidase activity. And you can also see the malate browning in the case of milk and food products. Malate browning is that is the reaction between the casein, that is the amino acid, and lactose, and that actually gives you the brown coloration of the milk powder. So this is Maillard browning reaction is also depends upon the what is the water activity level and what is the storage temperature. When we keep the product for a longer at a higher temperature, then we can also found the brown discoloration in the even in the dried milk product, even in the food product, or fruit juices, or you can milk powder. So these we can actually only we can actually check such type of defects in the defect in the dried milk product or fruit products by maintaining the proper water activity level in the powder. and also the generally we can keep the product at a lower temperature so that this type of reaction can be checked. है ना? Similarly, heat damage to carotenoids and chlorophyll pigments, they are also been noticed in the case of drying of the product. When we see the nutritive value of the product, definitely the proteins, which is the major components, which have loses the protein efficiency ratio, and also the biological value of the product. So proteins increase interreaction between the food component molecules, reduce digestibility of proteins. So reduced digestibility of proteins has also been noticed when we dehydrate the foods. Polymerization of protein and cross-linking reaction, and increased temperature of drying increases the cross-linking aggregation, and it ultimately reduces the protein efficiency ratio. So the nutritive value of protein is definitely loose. And similarly, when we see the Maillard burning reactions, then the lipid protein interaction uh, definitely definitely and continuously reduce. Raj